The world has been fortunate to witness the extraordinary talents of legendary gay stars who have made indelible marks on global culture. But did you know that figures like Pedro Zamora, Freddie Mercury, and Brad Davis share a poignant connection? Let's dive into the lives of 20 iconic stars whose legacies were cut short by AIDS, exploring the inspiring stories they left behind and the profound impact they had on the world. Wade Dominguez was a name slowly gaining recognition in Hollywood, thanks to fate's intervention. Born on May 10, 1966, in Santa Clara County, California, Dominguez had Mexican and French heritage, which contributed to his striking and distinctive appearance, a feature that would later become an asset in his career. Before making his mark on the big screen, Dominguez worked as a go-go dancer at nightclubs. Although his early career wasn't glamorous, it allowed him to showcase his passion for dance and performance. His breakout role came in 1995 with the film Dangerous Minds, where he played Emilio Ramirez, a tough student who undergoes a transformation under the guidance of Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Dominguez's performance was authentic and compelling, drawing the attention of both critics and audiences. Following Dangerous Minds, he went on to appear in several other films, including City of Industry, The Taxman, and Shadow of Doubt, with each role showcasing his versatility as an actor and hinting at a promising career ahead. Behind the glitz and glamour, Wade Dominguez was privately battling a devastating illness. He was diagnosed with AIDS but chose to keep this information from the public. On August 26, 1998, at the age of 32, Dominguez passed away from respiratory failure caused by AIDS. His death came as a shock to the industry, as few knew about his health struggles. One of the most poignant stories from his final days was when his close friend and co-star, Elizabeth Berkley, visited him in the hospital and showed him a cut of his final film, The Taxman. Watching himself on screen, Dominguez was moved to tears and said, "I'm so good. I'm so good." It was a bittersweet moment, a tender reflection of both his remarkable talent and the heartbreaking loss of a life cut too short. Freddie Mercury, the mesmerizing lead singer of Queen, was not just a legendary artist, but a musical icon. Born in Zanzibar, his path to stardom was as vibrant as his bold and dynamic stage presence. With an exceptional 4-octave vocal range and a charisma that electrified audiences, he became a global sensation. While Mercury's personal life often fueled rumors, he never openly discussed his sexuality, yet those closest to him knew he was gay. Among his significant relationships was one with Mary Austin, whom he referred to as his soulmate, despite their romantic separation in 1987. Mercury was diagnosed with HIV in 1991, a fact he kept private while continuing to create music and live life on his own terms. His final relationship was with Jim Hutton, a hairdresser who stood by his side until the end. The last years of Mercury's life were marked by dedicated creative work, contributing to Queen's albums, including Innuendo, released in 1991. The music video for These Are the Days of Our Lives was his final appearance in front of the camera, where he appeared frail, but still radiated his vibrant spirit. On November 23, 1991, Mercury publicly revealed his battle with AIDS, and just one day later, on November 24th, he passed away from complications related to the disease. The world lost one of its brightest musical stars. Mercury's enduring legacy lives on, and in 1992, the Mercury Phoenix Trust was founded to support global efforts in the fight against AIDS. Robert Reed, best known for his portrayal of Mike Brady in the iconic sitcom The Brady Bunch, lived a life that was far more complex than the picture-perfect father he played on screen. Born John Robert Wrights Jr. in 1932, Reed's path to fame was filled with unexpected twists, much like the adventures of the Brady family. He began his acting career on stage, refining his craft in numerous plays before moving to Hollywood in the early 1960s. Reed appeared in a variety of television roles before landing the unforgettable role of Mike Brady in The Brady Bunch. He quickly became America's beloved father figure, known for his wisdom, gentle demeanor, and knack for solving family dilemmas with a calm, thoughtful approach. However, behind the scenes, Reed was facing personal challenges of his own. In 1954, he married Marilyn Rosenberger, and they had a daughter, Karen, but their marriage lasted only 5 years before ending in divorce. During this time, Reed confided in Marilyn about his homosexuality. Despite this revelation, he chose to keep his sexuality private, fearing that coming out could harm his career, as Hollywood in the 1960s was far from accepting or open to the LGBTQ+ community. Throughout his time on The Brady Bunch, Reed earned a reputation as a perfectionist, frequently clashing with producers over script quality and plot points. He took his role as a father figure both on and off-screen very seriously. The show's adopted children often recalled how Reed would take them on excursions to cultural landmarks, helping to expand their worldviews beyond the set's boundaries. In 1991, Reed received a devastating diagnosis: colon cancer. As he fought this illness, another health issue was discovered. His medical records revealed that Reed had been infected with HIV, though the exact time of contraction remains unclear. On May 12, 1992, at the age of 59, Robert Reed passed away. While his death certificate listed colon cancer as the primary cause, it is believed that complications related to HIV played a significant role. Reed's death shocked both his fans and colleagues. Florence Henderson, who played his on-screen wife Carol Brady, said, "Bob was a family man, and we will all miss him." The revelation of Reed's HIV status after his death sparked crucial conversations about the stigma and secrecy faced by many in the LGBTQ+ community, especially within the entertainment industry. Willi Smith was a groundbreaking fashion designer whose work left a lasting impact on the industry. Born in Philadelphia in 1948, Smith brought a unique urban perspective to fashion, earning him the title of the father of streetwear. He began his fashion career at the renowned Parsons School of Design, but was expelled due to a relationship with a male student. Undeterred, Smith worked in various roles within the fashion industry before founding his own brand, Willi Wear, in 1976. Willi Wear revolutionized fashion by combining stylish, high-end design with the practicality of streetwear, making fashionable clothing accessible to a wider audience. Smith's vision was to make fashion inclusive, ensuring that style wasn't just reserved for the elite but for everyone. His philosophy was both simple and profound. "I don't design clothes for the queen, but for the people who wave at her as she passes by." In 1981, Smith met Lan Barker, who became both his life partner and business partner. Together, they propelled Willi Wear to new heights, and by the mid-1980s, their company was generating over $25 million in annual revenue. Smith's influence extended beyond fashion, as he collaborated with artists, dancers, and filmmakers, blurring the boundaries between fashion and other art forms. He even designed the wedding dress for Mary Jane Watson in the Spider-Man comics, leaving a significant mark on popular culture. Tragically, Smith's thriving career was cut short in 1986, when Barker passed away from AIDS-related cancer. Just months later, Smith's own health began to decline rapidly. He was hospitalized for shingles and other AIDS-related viral conditions. On April 17, 1987, Willi Smith passed away at the age of 39. Though many believed AIDS was the primary cause of his death, his company honored his wishes by keeping the details of his illness private. His legacy endures in the fabric of modern streetwear and in the memories of those who knew him. Smith once said, "Being black has had a huge influence on me becoming a good designer. My eye will quickly notice what a well-dressed person is wearing over noticing someone in a gray suit and tie." His work continues to inspire fashion and culture today, cementing his place as a true pioneer. Denholm Elliott was an actor whose name you might not recognize, but his face is undoubtedly familiar. Born in London in 1922, Elliott appeared in over 125 films and television shows throughout his long and successful career. He was the go-to actor for directors looking for someone to portray quirky, lovable characters, often stealing the spotlight with a well-timed raised eyebrow or a perfectly placed line. Elliott's journey to an acting career wasn't straightforward, however. Elliott served in the Royal Air Force during World War II and was even a prisoner of war for 3 years. After the war, he discovered a passion for the stage and screen, quickly becoming one of Britain's most reliable actors. Some of Elliott's most memorable roles include Marcus Brody in the Indiana Jones films, Coleman in Trading Places, and Mr. Emerson in A Room with a View. In his personal life, Elliott was married twice and had 2 children, but he was also bisexual, a fact he kept private for much of his life. In 1987, at the age of 65, Elliott was diagnosed with HIV. Despite the diagnosis, he continued working and appeared in several films and television shows during the late 1980s and early 1990s, including Noble House and Toy Soldiers. His final on-screen appearance was in the 1992 film Noises Off. On October 6, 1992, Elliott passed away at his home on the island of Ibiza, Spain, from tuberculosis related to AIDS. He was 70 years old. The news of his death shocked the British acting community, with an outpouring of tributes from colleagues and fans, all recognizing his significant contributions to British cinema. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts, BAFTA, honored him by naming an award after him, the Denholm Elliott Award, presented to promising actors, ensuring that Elliott's legacy would continue to inspire future generations of performers. Roy Cohn, a deeply controversial figure even after his death, was a powerful and influential personality in mid-20th century American politics. Born in 1927 in New York to a wealthy Jewish family with strong political ties, Cohn first gained national prominence as chief counsel during the McCarthy hearings in the 1950s. He played a pivotal role in prosecuting suspected communists, most infamously in the case of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, which led to their execution. Cohn was also a central figure in the Lavender Scare, a campaign aimed at purging gay individuals from the U.S. government, leaving a complicated and dark legacy marked by both political influence and harmful actions against the LGBTQ+ community. Cohn persuaded President Eisenhower to implement a ban on gay individuals working in the federal government, claiming that they were vulnerable to blackmail and could compromise national security. The irony of Cohn's involvement in this campaign was striking, especially given the persistent rumors about his own sexuality, including his rumored relationship with David Schein, his chief counsel during the McCarthy era. Despite these rumors, Cohn consistently denied being gay. Later in his career, Cohn became a private attorney, representing high-profile clients such as Donald Trump, Rupert Murdoch, and several mafia figures. In 1984, Cohn was diagnosed with HIV, but worked hard to keep this information private, instead claiming he was suffering from liver cancer as his health worsened. On August 2, 1986, Roy Cohn died at the age of 59, never publicly acknowledging either his sexuality or his HIV status. Ed Koch, the iconic mayor of New York City from 1978 to 1989, was a figure who sparked intense loyalty as well as sharp criticism. Known for his signature catchphrase, "How am I doing?" Koch brought a unique, dynamic energy to City Hall that perfectly mirrored the spirit of 1980s New York. Born in 1924 in the Bronx, Koch's journey to becoming mayor was as colorful and vibrant as the city he would go on to lead. Koch served in World War II, became a lawyer, and later entered politics, serving as a congressman before winning the mayoral election in 1977. He took office at a time when New York was facing numerous challenges, including a financial crisis, high crime rates, and urban decay. Koch is credited with helping to stabilize the city's finances and driving its economic recovery, making significant strides in revitalizing the city's infrastructure and public services. However, one of the most controversial aspects of his legacy was his handling of the AIDS crisis. When AIDS began to ravage the gay community in New York in the early 1980s, many activists criticized Koch for not responding strongly enough. Larry Kramer, a prominent AIDS activist, famously called Koch a bad man who caused gay men to die. The criticism intensified amid persistent rumors about Koch's sexuality. Although he never publicly identified as gay during his lifetime, he always insisted that his private life was his own business. However, after his death in 2013, longtime friend and journalist Charles Kaiser confirmed that Koch was, in fact, gay. Kaiser explained that Koch did not harbor self-hatred, but rather belonged to a generation that did not openly discuss such matters. Despite the controversies, Koch's tenure as mayor marked several significant achievements, particularly in improving the city's infrastructure, crime rates, and finances. As a congressman, Koch introduced the first version of the anti-discrimination law in employment, which later became the Labor Discrimination Act. As mayor, he also enacted measures prohibiting discrimination against gay individuals in employment and housing within the city. Koch's relationship with the gay community remained complex throughout his life. He expressed regret for not doing more regarding AIDS, but also defended his record by highlighting the increased funding for AIDS research and care during his tenure. After leaving office, Koch remained a public figure, writing books, hosting a radio show, and even serving as a judge on the People's Court. He passed away on February 1, 2013, at the age of 88, leaving behind a complicated legacy that continues to be debated in New York and beyond. Brad Davis, one of Hollywood's rising stars in the 1970s, led a life that mirrored the tragic roles he often played on screen. Born Robert Creel Davis in 1949 in Tallahassee, Florida, he grew up in a tumultuous environment marked by an alcoholic father and the divorce of his parents. Despite these challenges, Davis found solace in acting and moved to New York City as a young man to study at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. His breakthrough role came in 1978 when he portrayed Billy Hayes in Midnight Express, the story of an American student imprisoned in Turkey for drug trafficking. His powerful performance earned him a Golden Globe Award, marking the beginning of his rise in the entertainment world. He continued to take on complex roles, often portraying characters grappling with controversial issues, such as in the film The Boys in the Band, where he played a sailor exploring his sexual orientation. This role solidified his reputation as a gay icon. However, Davis's personal life remained a mystery. He was married to Susan Blinn for 15 years, and they had a daughter together. Friends and family consistently denied rumors about his sexuality, insisting that his on-screen roles were merely acts. Behind the spotlight, Davis struggled with addiction, which led to him contracting HIV in 1985, during a time when AIDS was still poorly understood and highly stigmatized. Davis kept his diagnosis private for 6 years, only revealing it to his closest friends. During this time, he continued to work, appearing in television shows and films and participating in experimental treatments. However, his health rapidly deteriorated, and on September 8, 1991, at the age of 41, Brad Davis passed away. One of the most controversial decisions he made was to end his life through assisted suicide, a choice believed to be made to protect his family from witnessing his decline and to avoid the stigma associated with AIDS at the time. After his death, his wife, Susan Blynn Davis, published a book about his life, shedding light on the private struggles he faced in his final years. Rock Hudson, born Roy Harold Scherer Jr. in 1925, was the epitome of the famous Hollywood leading man. Standing at 6'5" with a handsome appearance and commanding presence, Hudson seemed born to be a movie star. His journey from a small-town boy in Waukegan, Illinois, to one of Hollywood's biggest stars is a true Hollywood fairy tale. Hudson's career took off in the 1950s with films such as Magnificent Obsession and All That Heaven Allows, where he became known for his versatility, excelling in both romantic comedies and dramatic roles. His performance in Giant, alongside Elizabeth Taylor and James Dean, earned him an Academy Award nomination. However, with fame came the increasing pressure to maintain a certain public image, especially during a time when being openly gay could destroy a career. To protect his image, Hudson went to great lengths to conceal the truth about his sexuality. In 1955, he married Phyllis Gates, the secretary of his agent Henry Wilson, in a marriage that lasted only 3 years, and was later revealed to be a sham created by Wilson to quash rumors about Hudson's sexuality. While maintaining the facade of a heterosexual man in public, Hudson's private life in Hollywood was an open secret. He was known for hosting lavish poolside parties at his Beverly Hills mansion, which became legendary events in the gay community. Hudson's career continued to thrive throughout the 1960s and 1970s. He successfully transitioned to television with the series McMillan and Wife, and later joined the cast of Dynasty, introducing him to a new generation of viewers. However, Hudson's world changed dramatically in 1984 when he was diagnosed with AIDS. Initially, he kept his illness private, though his appearance began to change noticeably, and speculation about his health grew louder. This came to a head when he appeared frail and weak at a press event for Dynasty in July 1985. On July 25, 1985, Hudson's representative confirmed that he had AIDS, and the announcement sent shockwaves through Hollywood and the nation. He became the first major celebrity to publicly acknowledge having AIDS, bringing a familiar face to a disease that was still poorly understood and heavily stigmatized. In the final months of his life, Hudson's friends stood by him. His Pillow Talk co-star, Doris Day, invited him to appear on her television show, which became his final public appearance. Rock Hudson passed away on October 2, 1985, at the age of 59. His death marked a turning point in public awareness of AIDS. As actress Morgan Fairchild remarked, Rock Hudson's passing put a face to AIDS, and his openness in his final months helped to reduce the stigma surrounding the disease. It also sparked important discussions about HIV/AIDS and the rights of the LGBTQ+ community. Rudolf Nureyev was more than just a dancer. He was a groundbreaking figure who reshaped the world of ballet. Born on a Siberian train near Ufa, Russia, in 1938, Nureyev had a challenging and impoverished childhood, but his love for ballet was evident from a young age. At 11, he joined a folk dance group, and later he studied at the prestigious Vaganova Ballet Academy in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg. While his talent was undeniable, it was his dramatic defection from the Soviet Union in 1961, amidst the height of the Cold War, that catapulted him to international fame and solidified his place as one of ballet's most iconic figures. While touring with the Kirov Ballet in Paris, Nureyev made the daring decision to seek asylum, a move that not only transformed his life, but also carried significant political weight. His career soared as he partnered with prima ballerina dame Margot Fonteyn, creating one of the most iconic dance duos in history. Their performances in classics like Romeo and Juliet and Swan Lake became legendary. Yet Nureyev was not content with merely performing. He sought to revolutionize ballet by challenging traditional gender norms and advocating for greater opportunities for male dancers. His dynamic style and magnetic stage presence injected new energy into classical ballet, captivating younger audiences and inspiring a fresh wave of dancers. Offstage, Nureyev was known for his extravagant lifestyle and multifaceted personality, with a keen interest in antiques and multiple homes across different countries. Nureyev's personal life was the subject of much speculation, though he later openly acknowledged his relationships with men. In 1983, he was appointed the director of the Paris Opera Ballet, where he continued to challenge conventions and mentor new talent. Despite his declining health in the late 1980s, he remained committed to his work, choreographing, directing, and even performing when possible. Rudolf Nureyev passed away on January 6, 1993, at the age of 54 due to complications related to AIDS. His death marked a tremendous loss for the ballet world, but his legacy continues to shape both ballet and popular culture today. Keith Haring was not just an artist, but a cultural icon whose influence remains strong today. Born in 1958 in Reading, Pennsylvania, Haring found his voice in the vibrant street art scene of New York City in the 1980s. His distinctive style, characterized by bold lines, vivid colors, and dynamic figures, became emblematic of the pop art movement. He began his career by drawing on subway walls, using white chalk on empty advertising panels, transforming them into informal art galleries that engaged the public. Haring's battle with AIDS was short-lived, and he passed away in 1990 at the age of 31. Despite his brief life, Haring left a lasting legacy in both art and social activism. His colorful murals and iconic imagery remain powerful symbols of love, unity, and the ongoing fight against HIV/AIDS. Liberace, born Władysław Liberace in 1919 in West Allis, Wisconsin, became a beloved figure in the entertainment world, earning the nickname Mr. Showmanship for his larger-than-life performances. Raised in a family of Italian and Polish immigrants, Liberace's musical talent emerged early. He was playing classical music by the age of 4. However, it was his extravagant performance style, featuring dazzling costumes and the signature candelabra on his piano, that truly set him apart, making him an unforgettable icon in both music and popular culture. Liberace's career soared in the 1950s with The Liberace Show, where he dazzled audiences with extravagant performances, including opulent costumes, candelabras on his piano, and an irresistible stage presence. His famous slogan, "I don't play the piano, I play the show," perfectly captured his larger-than-life style. Despite his glamorous persona, Liberace consistently denied being gay throughout his life. When gossip magazines began spreading rumors about his sexuality, he took legal action. In 1956, he successfully sued the British newspaper Daily Mirror for publishing false claims about his sexual orientation, adamantly asserting that he was not gay and had never engaged in homosexual acts. However, Liberace's private life told a different story. He had lived with Scott Thorson, his chauffeur and alleged lover, for 5 years. Their relationship ended dramatically in 1982 when Thorson filed a lawsuit against Liberace, demanding $113 million. The case was eventually settled out of court for $95,000. As the AIDS epidemic spread in the 1980s, Liberace's health began to deteriorate. Despite his increasingly frail and fatigued appearance, he continued to deny any connection to the disease, claiming instead that he was simply following a watermelon diet. Liberace gave his final performance on November 2, 1986, at Radio City Music Hall in New York. Just a few months later, on February 4, 1987, he passed away at his home in Palm Springs, California. Initially, his personal doctor attributed his death to heart failure, but the truth eventually came to light. After an autopsy, Riverside County coroner Dr. Raymond Chillo confirmed that Liberace died from pneumonia, a complication of AIDS. Thank you for watching. If you are battling HIV or AIDS, this message is for you. Please share your story and remember that you are not alone in this journey. Thank you for following, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more meaningful stories. See you in the next video.